So I'm going to just do speaker view right now, or I can do all of us. I can do, yep, I'm recording and just trying to set my screen for right now. So, but it's the truth. We're all here, and this is the last time we're going to meet together in this particular group, going through this particular course at this particular time in our lives. And y'all, I could not be more grateful for each one of you, because you gave me the opportunity to see this dream of mine come to life. And my life will forever be changed because of you guys. You were open to being a part of this pilot group and taking this test drive on something that you absolutely had no idea really what we were going to do, other than we're going to talk about the Enneagram somehow and something about butterflies. But no, I know you knew this was going to be a course about transformation. But even the course description that I have on the website, it didn't go, totally in depth with it, because if I wrote it all out and said everything I had planned to teach week by week, then that would be a book. And the truth is, maybe one day I will write that book. But for right now, my true desire was to bring together a community so we could share our ideas and our synergies, and feel free to explore unity through our diversity. So I am going to go to screen share. And here we are. Module 3, taking flight, the butterfly effect. So what does that mean, taking flight? Well, for the first time in the butterfly's life, it is not bound to anything. The sky is literally the limit. It's the first moment of conscious awareness that we are free to detach from what has kept us in a space of limited growth, just like the caterpillar through all phases of its growth, until even that very last part, he's still hanging on to the chrysalis just till the wings are ready, like we talked about last week, pumping all that fluid into the wings. And it's not until that final moment that he's detached from anything. And this is what I call formlessness. Oh, there we go. So we in this small unfolding community have been a microcosm of the world around us. Every day, we're surrounded by the thoughts and energies of millions and billions of humans who, for the greatest part, are walking through life in unconsciousness, going through each moment on autopilot. This is the quantum world that we cannot see, but make no mistake, it's there and it's here. That is why before I started this, I asked for us to send out our collective energy, because that's what I'll talk about a little more later. But we have this energy field that permeates out way beyond just our little limitations in front of us. And so I want to talk a little bit about the quantum physics, but I'm not going to go into a whole crazy other science thing. But the world of quantum physics is not a fiction movie or even a crazy theory. It's not a theory at all anymore. It's what physicists are studying now. It's a world of the immeasurable in one sense, and the evidence that proves it in the other. And I want to say that again, because I didn't write it on a slide, but I think if we can just grasp this, we'll begin to think about our own energies maybe a little bit differently. So it's a world, quantum is a world of the immeasurable in one sense, and the evidence that proves it in the other. So why bring up this other science matter after I've immersed you in the biology of the butterfly? Well, because I want to emphasize how each moment we step out of the energy of chaos, we disrupt the flow of the unseen energy of fear and uncertainty. It only takes one. I've said that several times when we're talking with a pain body or we're changing some of the way we view things. It just takes one when we're in a relationship to change the whole dynamics, to change the energy. So when we disrupt that flow, the energy that exists in the quantum field of the unseen, but we know from the evidence is real because we can feel it. And we can break the flow of energy from chaos to calm. And if you can feel it, then the effect is sending out a ripple out into the world. So if we think of humanity as one living organism, and we as individuals are tiny cells, then we can begin to imagine how a collection of diseased cells causes illness and suffering on a massive world level. And I do not think we have to look too far to go and say, yep, there is a lot of toxicity going on in the world. But we know that on the individual level, in our own body, when we have so many ways of increasing our own health, giving ourselves necessary nutrients and oxygen, then we begin to consider how our mental health affects our overall health. And so we turn our thoughts into providing necessary mental nutrition in many ways. We do this through whatever speaks to us, prayer or meditation or positive information. Information, yes, and affirmation, but we begin to consume information that provides new ways of thinking about our thinking, right? Thinking about our thinking. So these past 9 weeks that we've just spent together thinking about our unconscious behaviors and how we can become conscious of our own motivations and fears through the beautiful journey of the Enneagram. And when we begin to understand our consciousness, yep, yours and mine individually and collectively, we can contribute to a shift in the energy of the planet. We can begin to comprehend that we are here for reasons that go beyond our immediate knowing. But we do know because the evidence supports it. We can begin to delight in the gifts we have, which, as are evident when we look at each of our Enneagram types, and because each type has such inherent beauty. So let's take a look here. We've spent a lot of time researching and questioning and looking deep into the different motivations behind our actions, the fears that we have, and questioning our attachments to things. And I reflect on this course and think, wow, does it feel like you've been beat over the head? I hope not. I hope not. But in conclusion on this last one, I want us just to take a look at the unique gifts of each type, because there's so much beauty in each one. So, but as we all know, our unique fingerprint is the only one of its kind. So before I go to that, I just want to say, Clay, there is no other type 3 like you. Megan, there's no other type 4 like you. And Lee, there's no other type 1 just like you. And Mary and Ricky, who are not here, they were a part of this group, and there's not another 6 like Ricky. And for Mary, regardless of whatever type is that she settles on, which it really doesn't matter, knowing her type doesn't affirm who she is, but there is no other one like her. Mary's been looking at some different options. So this must confirm that, like we just have individual fingerprints. I've even done some looking about the patterns of the wings of each butterfly. And I probably shouldn't even said this because I don't have all my science backed up, but there has been a couple of the places I read that said even no two butterflies' wings are exactly alike. So that is telling us we cannot be limited to the box of a particular type or a particular anything for that matter. Yeah, we share qualities that are universal, but make no mistake, you are the only you this planet will ever know. And seriously, doesn't that just blow your mind? It does. It really, when I think about that, I get to know each of you through this, and there will be no other relationship that I have on this planet that's the same as the one I have with each of you. So I used to, no, I'm gonna stop just a minute. Let's go through each of the types so I can leave you on a good note, right? So type 1. Type 1s become wise, discerning, compassionate, and accepting. Realistic, humane, and inspiring, they exercise good judgment, knowing when to act and when to let things stay as they are. As they grow in consciousness, type 1s typically have a higher purpose that guides them, and they are able to act calmly and clearly from a place of deep compassion. Okay, type 1, I know you saw my typo. And I appreciate that about you. So, oh my goodness. And I know we don't have all of every type in here, but let's just go through all of them and just see how wonderful it is when we see the beauty of each of the types. And these are short. Type 2s, in awareness, they become altruistic, humble, direct, and pure, offering unconditional love, but balancing that with self-love and self-care. They are supportive, encouraging, grateful, and giving. Conscious type 2s see past the superficial and can find the spark of beauty and potential in each person. I know you could read this, but I'm reading it. Type 3. In awareness, type 3s are self-accepting, real, honest, and are able to speak from the heart. They seek to inspire and support those around them and can connect with others from a place of authenticity. Type 3s are compassionate, kind, humble, vulnerable, and accepting of others. They inspire others while staying humble and sharing vulnerability when they are living in consciousness. Type 4s. In awareness, type 4s are deeply original, expressive, emotionally balanced, and focused. They can manifest creations that can be shared with the outside world in meaningful ways. Type 4s in consciousness are self-aware, self-reflective, sensitive to others, and kind to themselves. Their emotional fluency allows them to become an advocate, a translator, and an inspiration for the feelings of others. Type 5. In awareness, type 5s experience sparks of genius and innovative thinking that often lead to creative solutions and original inventions. They are engaged and engaging, being able to move in flow and tolerate ambiguity. When living in consciousness, type 5s are open-minded, deeply wise, keenly observant, and strive not just for rational knowledge, but also knowledge from the heart. Type 6. In awareness, type 6 demonstrates courage, fairness, and a healthy balance of interdependence and independence. They are loving, reliable, hardworking, and deeply supportive, and dedicated to issues and people with which they are aligned. They can idealistically pursue the goal of creating a safer and more secure world. Living in consciousness, type 6 use courage and fairness to create a safer world. Type 7. In awareness, type 7s are focused and present. feeling deep gratitude and profound appreciation in all that life offers. They are emotionally balanced and able to access the full emotional spectrum, including negative emotions. In consciousness, type 7s are discerning enough to know what is useful and what is a distraction, and they can become expert and knowledgeable in a range of subjects. Type 8s. In awareness, type 8s are generous, magnanimous, restrained, wise, and courageous. They balance assertiveness with vulnerability and demonstrate strong leadership ability. In consciousness, type 8s can leave a significant mark on the world as they fiercely advocate for themselves and any group with whom they are aligned. And type 9. In awareness, type 9s are clear, fulfilled, receptive, caring, and autonomous. They can hold multiple conflicting perspectives in their mind without judgment or criticism. They know their worth and they can step into their power. Type 9s who are living in consciousness are able to set clear boundaries and aggressively pursue their goals while maintaining an openness, curiosity, and kindness to those around them. Ooh. I hope we are able to know that we are those gifts when we are in our conscious awareness. So I used to sign all my emails, like starting about 20 years ago, with this quote by Marianne Williamson. It's often attributed to Nelson Mandela, but it is not. It's Marianne's quote. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God, and your playing small does not serve the world. Isn't it time to embrace our power, spread our wings and fly? You are here for endless reasons. If you Google the butterfly effect, this is the quote that it says, the phenomenon whereby a minute, localized change in a complex system can have large effects elsewhere. Again, that is why I strongly believe in the power of our thoughts and the power of collective thoughts and energy to make really big changes in places all across the world. So I want to wrap this up with this last slide, because this is what I want you to take away. The power of the effect is you is being felt across space and time. This is the butterfly effect. Today, somewhere in the Amazon jungle, a butterfly flaps its wings and a storm occurs in Europe. So also today, you spread your wings and fly, and the single solitary vibrations of your consciousness affects the world. I think we highly underestimate the power of the thoughts that we carry, the energy that we put out into the world. We really get busy being busy. I know this. I get busy in obsessive thoughts, but when I am in my consciousness, when I do sit in awareness, I say the words that I believe in my heart, whether I get to say them in person to somebody or not. That energy of my conscious caring goes out. And I have to give credit to Ian Cron and his typology podcast. At the end of every one of his podcasts, he signs off by saying, may you have peace, may you have joy, may you have love, may you have healing, and may you have rest. And I think those last two, all of them actually. But when I think about the combination of pouring out the energy of prayer, meditation, whatever, and asking for healing and rest, isn't that beautiful? Well, I used to always pray for peace. My children, that was the number one thing. I just want them to have peace. And I still do. And I want everybody to know peace. But that healing, because we've all been hurt somewhere along the way. Some is self-inflicted, a lot is. But a lot is through no choice of our own. And I think that's why I feel so strongly right now in sending out those words to the people of Ukraine and the people of Russia who are not in favor of this, and the many who are taking in the refugees right now. I think our planet needs what we've been doing all these many weeks and for years beyond, not just this course, that we can send out this energy of healing to the nations. So thank you guys for letting me share this with you. And I am going to open the door and say, you guys take it away. I think I will stop the recording so we can talk about anything you'd like to personally talk about. But it does seem like every time I stop the recording, we say the best stuff. So I will, though. Thank you guys so much.